Hello, my name's Scott. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review.
It's a kind of magic.
In today's review, we are looking at the Greek Peak wallet by Tony Antoniou. Although this was created by Tony Antoniou, the rights were purchased by Vanishing Ink and now it is technically a Vanishing Ink product. And that being said, I also purchased this. Vanishing Ink did not send me this. So this review, as with all of my reviews, are my complete honest thoughts, and no one has asked or paid me to say anything. With that out of the way, what's my TLDR? Well, my TLDR on the Greek Peak wallet is that it's fantastic. I think now it is my absolute favorite Peak device to carry to events. It's one of my favorite ones that I use just generally in casual day-to-day life as well. And it's built to last. The instructions are very good. It does what it promises and it does it well. At roughly £43, I guess that would put it about 55 US dollars at the time of this review. I think that's a good price. It's a high quality product made with really good high grade leather, and there's not much more else I can say. That's my TLDR on the Greek Peak wallet by Tony Antoniou. But what is the Greek Peak wallet? The clue is in the name. It's a Peak wallet, yet another Peak wallet, as if we don't have enough. However, I think this may be the holy grail of kind of everyday carries of slim Peak wallets. So what it is this little card holder style wallet, and this allows you to peek some information, and that allows you to do many hundreds of different kinds of tricks. Of course, they are all in a way revealing a piece of information, but many different variations of presentations, and that's what this is. It's a slimlined card holder wallet that allows you to peek information. What do you get with the Greek Peak wallet? In addition to the wallet itself with this money clip on the back, you also receive a link to approximately 35 minutes of expert explanations by Tony himself. Tony has created this with his own thoughts in mind, and there's no one better to explain everything about this product than Tony. So he leaves no stone unturned. He gives you like 5 different options for different routines that you can perform with it to get you started. He tells you tips about caring about it. He explains various different kinds of peaks that are better for some situations rather than others. So for your £43, £45, you're getting a fully fleshed out product that is a really high quality and equally high quality instructions as a companion. You can download the instructions as well on your Vanishing Ink account page. One final thing to mention is that a PDF is also included with the instructions for a very interesting kind of forcing device, which is in addition to this. It works with one of the routines, and it's really nice for them to include that PDF as well for you to print off at home and make one if you wish. And that is what you receive when you purchase the Greek Peak wallet. How easy is it? Really easy. I think that it takes a little bit of time to wear in the leather. I've been taking this to every single event and occasion that I've been to for 2 or 3 months now. Both professionally with events and also personally to events. Because it is so small, it just fits in a pocket, in a top pocket, something like that. And I always carry it with me. I don't always use it. I've only used it maybe 5 or 10 times so far. But based on those times that I have chosen to perform it, it has worked incredibly well. People have really enjoyed the presentations. They found it very impressive and entertaining how the information has been revealed, and the skill level required for you to achieve that is very low. Basically, all you need to do is take out a piece of card or a piece of paper or a billet or anything like that, have someone write on it, it goes back inside just here, and then and you would push it all the way in. Then you would peek it in whatever way you want to do that, and then you're ready to take out another piece of card and reveal the information or tell them, read their thoughts, however you want to do it. So it's a very easy prop to use and also a very easy effect to perform, which makes this a very good gift or a very good purchase for basically anyone in Magic. Reset time. There isn't really a reset time to it. You have to take out the card that has the piece of information written on it. You have to take it out. I guess you don't have to, but take it out to show them that the information that you've revealed is actually the correct information. And then that kind of resets you, because if you perform it again without taking it out, then you have another piece of card in there. And you can do it that way, but eventually after 2 or 3 pieces of card, it's going to get very thick, it's going to start bulging. So there is a minor reset in that you preferably would take this out and give it to the spectator. But other than that, there is no reset time to this. There's no magnets, there's no threads, there's no crazy contraption that has to be set up again. It's just always ready to go for when you're ready to go. And the angles are great on this as well. I had some reservations about the angles on this, but I performed this over Christmas just to some family, and I had someone stood right behind me just here, and I thought, okay, since he stood behind me, I'll let him in on the trick and I'll let him reveal the information. And someone wrote a number, and then I held the wallet like this, and I allowed him to peek the information, and he didn't even see that there was a peek available. Like, the gimmick was being used, and the secret, the method was being shown to him right in front of his eyes, and he didn't even realize. He didn't even know what was going on, and he didn't even realize the information was there in front of him. So I think the angles are fantastic on this. But Tony on the instructions does take you through different handlings to adjust for different scenarios. And for something that I was a bit concerned with in terms of performing at events with people all around and in busy cocktail receptions where people are moving and getting drinks and things like this, I thought it would be a bit of a problem, but it really doesn't seem to be an issue at all. The angles seem to be really fantastic on this. And I don't think anyone has seen anything, even that person who was stood right behind me, who saw the exposed view of it. That's how well made this is. Pocket space is equally as good. It's very thin. I don't know what else to tell you. I would like it to be just a touch smaller, and I'm going to talk about that in my final thoughts. But it's incredibly slim. It's probably the slimmest, the most compact style of peak wallet I've ever seen. And I hate big, fat, bulky wallets. I never use big, fat, bulky wallets. Even the classic Jerry O'Connell wallet, the long hip wallet, I don't really use that anymore because it's just massive. And this suits my modern style of living and my minimalist style of living. So I think it's really good in terms of pocket space. You can put this in any pocket, a jacket pocket, a trouser pocket. You could probably even fit this in the side pocket of skinny jeans or skinny trousers. That's how compact it is. I will say something about that in the final thoughts to address a minor concern. But I think in terms of pocket space as a whole, it's fantastic and doesn't take up much space at all. Which brings me on to my final thoughts. I have a couple of things with me here. This is the famous Jack's wallet that was created by Jerry O'Connell and now produced by PropDog. I love this wallet. This was my favorite peak wallet ever. And while I still love it and I still recommend it, and in some situations I would use this over this, I think that this, the Greek Peak wallet, has now overtaken that as my #1 peak wallet for a number of reasons. For the fact that it has a money clip here, and I have Greg Wilson's Foreign Affair here. I have a couple of bits, custom bits of card printed up that have my social media on. And I just think that it's kind of perfect. A couple of things, a couple of concerns that I do have about it is this piece of leather here that's stitched on the back where the card clip is. If your trousers are too tight, or if the pocket that this is in is too tight, and there's friction as you're pushing it in and pulling it out, that over time will ruin the part of this where the gimmick is built into it. Of course, leather is a natural product and it's something that will wear in over time. And I have concerns really long term about how well it will last and how well the peak window will fare, and whether it will get too loose and whether it will start to hang too much and things like this. At the moment, as I say, with 2-3 months of practice and using and taking and having on me on a day-to-day basis, I don't see any problems. But it has been getting looser and looser and looser, which, as I say, is normal for leather products. But I just hope it doesn't become a problem really long term over years, because that would be a little bit disappointing. So you do have to take a little bit of care when you're putting it in tight trousers or tight pockets, so that the gimmick doesn't twist or rub or pull with too much friction on it. Another thing is, here is my actual wallet that I've used for many years, 5 years, 8 years, something like that. And this is made by a company in Australia called Belroy. They produce really high quality leather goods. And you'll see that the stitching is slightly neater, slightly tighter, And also the wallet is a little bit slimmer as well. I would have liked if this Greek Peak wallet could have been that just higher grade wallet, if it was £65 or even £75, but just slightly higher quality, because the leather is a little bit thick. But Tony knows what he's doing with leatherwork. Maybe that's not possible with the way that this works. Another thing to mention is that these are the cards that I had made up. They just have a square box like this. Tony also talks about this in the tutorial, because you do need to have this in a particular orientation. Otherwise, when you peek the information, it might be upside down and a bit difficult for you to read or interpret if it's an image. So do think about what you're going to use when you're having them write down on a piece of paper a word or a number or draw a picture, because it's important that you're able to distinguish from the area, which is why I have these little borders and corners on this card, so that they kind of know, without me having to say anything, that this is the area that I'm wanting them to put the information in. And then that means that in the window I can see it perfectly fine. And also with my social media handle for my events page, not for any of my review things, that means that there's a reason to then take it out of the wallet and give it to them, so that they can keep, so that they can just look me up on social media and say, hey, that was the guy who read my mind. I think that's everything that I have to say about this. I love it. I think it's a great price. I think it's a great product. I think now that Vanishing Ink have purchased the rights to it, I think it's available exclusively through them. I'm not 100% sure. You might be able to find it in a couple of other places. Of course, I also still recommend the famous Jack's wallet, which I will link to my review. It's one of the older reviews, so it doesn't look quite as nice as these new reviews, but I'll link to that just here, I think. And that's the review for today. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you found the review helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.